So now return to our top story this hour with allegations that Washington has been tapping the very top people in Germany, including snooping on Angela Merkel, the Chancellor. Well, to get the latest reaction from Berlin, we can now talk to Hugh Bronson from the Alternative for Germany party. Hugh, if these allegations are true, the German defence minister has said that business as usual will be very difficult between Berlin and Washington. Now, what could be the diplomatic fallout between the two? Be really that serious?
Well, of course, it's a serious matter for the German public, and of course there's been an outcry about what has happened in the past. But on the other hand, Mr. Thomas de Maizière, the German defense minister, also said that the Americans are and will remain our closest friends and our closest allies. Now, this clearly sends a signal out that whatever the current fallout might be, relationships will be restored at one point, and Germany will remain a very close ally to the US.
And yet we are hearing some pretty harsh rhetoric, aren't we, from other EU leaders, including the Dutch and the Belgian leaders. Let's hear what they had to say about this.
We cannot accept this systematic espionage, so we have to take measures. We cannot imagine measures only by one country.
This is serious. I will support Merkel completely in her complaint and say that this is not acceptable. I think we need all the facts on the table first.
Well, plenty of tough words there, but will we see measures taken, as one has just said there? Will we see any action? Plenty of words, of course.
Yes and no. Certainly there will be some action. The pressure group on censorship, the index on censorship, they have given the President of the European Council, my dear friend Herman van Rompuy, a petition demanding for privacy of their private communications. Of course, this is aimed at the NSA. Very important. People have signed, celebrities. But what are they going to do if the Americans are carrying on their business as they've done in the past? On the other hand, there is also an interview by the former boss of the French Secret Services, Monsieur Bernard Scarcini, who said, why is everybody surprised? We are spying on our allies the same way that our allies are spying on us. The Americans are looking into what we are doing on a commercial and industrial level, and we're doing the same to the Americans. We might unite in the fight against terrorism, but we have to do this because it's in our national interest to defend our business. So you have two different responses. Of course, there's a civil outcry. And on the other hand, the agencies, they know pretty well what has been going on for years and years. They're looking into each other's portfolios. They want, of course, to find out what is going on. And a very important point is, of course, espionage, to gather information that is important for business.
And it's really interesting, you raising the fact that all parties seem to be spying on each other, because the President of the European Parliament, you just mentioned earlier, said we can't be sure, and I'm just quoting, he said we can't be sure the German security forces haven't been listening to President Obama. So that in a way confirms what you're saying earlier, that everybody seems to be as guilty as each other. Do you think that really is possible, that they could have been spying on Obama and tapping into his phone?
Well, I believe the Americans most likely have a more sophisticated system than the Europeans. I'm pretty sure that they tried their very best to find out what is going on behind the scene, that they tried to find out what the Americans are planning, what the Americans are talking about. If they've been successful, we don't know. I'm pretty sure that everybody is trying to gather information, especially since the global economy has become more competitive. There are more players on the stage. Friends of yesterday are not necessarily friends of tomorrow. We're trying to gather information to secure our competitive advantage. So I'd be very surprised if German intelligence, the same way as the French intelligence and probably the British intelligence.
So this is more about industrial espionage. This is more about economics than actually spying on terms of security. So it's very interesting, isn't it, what the reasons are behind all of this. Hugh, thank you very much indeed for talking to us. Hugh Bronson from the Alternative for Germany party, live from Berlin.